What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're with full Pokemon Alphabet Letter O team. Last time we did N, and now we are doing O. If you've never watched one of these videos before, pretty much what I do is I go into all the Pokemon starting with a letter, in this case O, and I randomly pick out 6 Pokemon starting with that letter, and I put a team together. If you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live streams, all the Salt people, theme teams, Pokemon League, Shiny Hunts, all forms of salty entertainment. Come and check it out, people. If you miss the salt, it's not my fault. Today we got 2 battles, and I really hope you enjoy them. The first battle here, this one was against Dilly King, and we got a very, very good battle here. Definitely the best battle that I had with this team by far. So we got a Glaceon lead here, and the first Pokemon I'm going to be leading off on my team today is Oddish, right? Now, this is a Choice Banded Oddish, and Oddish's physical moves are very, very limited, so I had to almost double up on a couple of types here. We got C-Bomb, Flail, Bullet Seed, and Facade. I got Max Health and Max Attack with Adamant Nature. Now, what I wanted to do, right, is go for a C-Bomb, and that was my most strongest move there. Firstly, we got the Glaceon sending up the Hail, so I got a little bit of a, just a little bit of suspicion that it's going to be a scummy Veil set, and we're going to go for a C-Bomb, and of course, it's going to miss, so it's one of these days, people. Now, I maybe expected an Ice-type move to come my way, and I thought, okay, well, what's Oddish really going to be able to achieve against any of the other Pokemon? So I decided to keep it in, and the Glaceon, instead of going for an Ice-type move, is going to go for Mud Slap. This is pure scum. Anyway, somehow I get a C-Bomb out through that, and it does alright damage considering it's coming from an Oddish, right? Now, I gotta assume this Glaceon is definitely running some sort of bulk, at least max health, I'd say. And it's also gonna have the move Fake Tears as well. Fake Tears drop the opponent's special defense. So I get another C-Bomb off through there, which is amazing. And it's a clean 4-hit KO against the Glaceon. All I gotta do is land 2 more hits, right? So it's got Hail, it's got Mud Slap, and it's got Fake Tears. I'm not really sure what the other move is at the moment. So here comes another Mud Slap. Mud Slap starting a little bit more damage there. And of course, it's dropping my accuracy at the same time. C-Bomb is going to miss, and I sort of expected to start missing after all this time. Now, I don't know if the Glaceon has a Bright Powder, but I have a good feeling that it does, right? So here comes another Mud Slap there. I'm going to go down to probably, I'd say, 2 more with the Hail damage, and C-Bomb lands again. I couldn't believe it, like a landing after all that scum, and I managed 1 more hit, and I can take it out here. Now, Mud Slap is going to be a 2 to 3 hit KO from this range, and the Hail is gone, so I can land 1 more C-Bomb, and that's a Glaceon down. It's not often you probably see an Oddish beat a Glaceon, right? So here comes another Mud Slap there, and I'm going to leave that on 10 health, and C-Bomb misses. I was so close there to, defying all those odds. I was very lucky to get all those hits in there. I'm going to have to assume it was probably Bright Powder. I mean, even if it wasn't Bright Powder. Anyway, so we're going to bring in Obstagoon here. This is a special Obstagoon. This one's a Tip and Nature Obstagoon, max speed and max special attack EVs. We got on this one Hyper Voice and Throat Spray. We got Snarl also activates the Throat Spray, so you got Jill Stab there, which is nice, and also activating my item. It also popped on Blizzard and Thunder for a little bit of coverage and something a little bit, you probably wouldn't expect that coming from Obstagoon, right? So Glaceon is going to go down to the Hyper Voice, which is good. Next Pokemon we got coming here is the Jolteon. Maybe my opponent could be running a theme team here. Can you guess it? So I've got my best move here is Hyper Voice. Snarl will drop the special attack of the Pokemon if it's going to be a special set. I have no idea. Now, Jolteon's obviously going to outspeed me, and it's going to go for a track. So another scummy set. So Obstagoon's in love with that shiny Jolteon at the moment. It's dazzling in a way. However, I get through that and hit it with a Hyper Voice. It is a clean 2-hit KO there. So all I've got to do is land 1 more, and Jolteon is going to be going down. Now, I thought Jolteon may have something like Thunder Wave, but instead it went for a Pin Missile. Pin Missile Jolteon, right? Now, this is going to be a physical Jolteon set. I can tell it's probably max speed and max attack right there. It did me 3 times there, and now we got the 4th one. I was wondering whether I was going to run something scummy on there like King's Rock, and they hit me with 5 of them. That was super lucky, and they got a flinch. I knew that it was going to have King's Rock. So, attract King's Rock, Pin Missile Jolteon. I need this to only land twice, otherwise I am probably going to faint right here. So going for Hyper Voice, I've got to get through the Attract as well, which is another thing, right? Jolteon's going to hit me 2 times there, and it's going to get a 3rd hit against my Obscure, and I'm going to go down there. Man, that was super scummy unlucky. Bye-bye, Obscure. You tried against the scum. Next Pokemon I'm going to bring in is Oranguru. This is a special attacking set, and it's also got Quick Claw, right? This is a Quick Claw Extra Sensory flinching set with Focus Mist, Hyper Beam, and Energy Ball. Max health and max special attack. Now, I knew that Jolteon would have Thunder Wave. I called it after seeing the Attract and, of course, the Pin Missile King's Rock. That's a nasty little set there. I wonder what the other move is. Maybe another multi-hitting move or maybe Bite or something like that. Regardless, the Extra Sentry is going to be enough to take out the Jolteon, and I'm glad that is gone. Next Pokemon to come in here is the Scumbreon. Now, I do have Focus Mist, and it will do a lot of damage. I feel like it should be about a 2 to 3 hit KO here, right? So going for the Focus Mist, and the Umbreon's got Snarl. I'm like, okay, well, that's definitely not going to be a 2-hit KO now, right? So my special attack is going to drop right there, and the Umbreon is going to have a Throat Spray as the item, right? So what I can do is I can go for Focus Mist. However, I'm going to get paralyzed. Man, it's one of those days. So I'm going to go for Focus Mist again. I got absolutely nothing to lose here. At least if I can get 1 hit or do some form of damage, right? Now that is going to hit me very, very hard there. Once again, dropping my special attack. It's a Snarl. I finally get 1 Focus Blast off on the Umbreon, and it doesn't really do too much damage there. Like, all those Snarls destroyed me, right? So I was hoping maybe I could get a Hyper Beam Quick Claw possibly there. So go for Hyper Beam, and Quick Claw activates. Like, yes, at least I can, fire off a pretty powerful, type move as well. So here comes the Hyper Beam Oranguru, only on PIMPNITE Shuttle there. I mean, it would have done a lot more damage if I didn't have, all those negatives, but I got a crit after all, and it almost took it out. It was amazing. Now Umbreon's going to take me out the Snarl, and Oranguru is going to go down. So, not a bad effort there in the end, because I got that crit right. That definitely made up for all those, that nasty Snarl damage. Alright, now we're going to go to Omanyte. So this is going to be a shell smashing set. Fairly standard, but Omanyte doesn't really hit as hard as almost though, right? So we've got Shell Smash, Ancient Power, scummy combination there, and we've also got Surf and Ice Beam. So finishing off the Umbreon with the Ancient Power, maybe hoping I could get like an extra Ancient Power boost, but it didn't happen. Of course it didn't, right? Of course it didn't. So the next Pokemon to come in here is the Espeon. So I'm like, okay, Espeon's got reasonably good special defense, but if I can get a Shell Smash up, Surf should be hitting pretty hard, right? So it's going to outspeed me use Curse. I'm like, it's a physical Espeon. Very, very interesting, right? So Espeon is going to drop its speed and raises attack and defense. So I'm like, okay. Maybe this is this just going to be like a bulky set, or is it going to be it's not going to be a speedy one, so maybe they've got something like, I don't know, max health and max special defense? Something crazy like that. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go for another one, or maybe I should start attacking this, right? And see how much it will do. Or maybe I could try my luck again with Ancient Power, I was really contemplating go for that. I was like, nah, let's go for Ancient Power. I may as well try and get another boost, right? That'll be amazing. So go for the Ancient Power there on the Espeon, and it does around half health. Now it's going to go for Trick Room. So a Trick Room Curse Espeon. Like, okay. Now, I know Espeon's physical move pool pretty well. It does get Zen Headbutt and also can get Psychic Fangs as well for, physical stab. Outside that, it isn't really the greatest Pokemon out there, right? Now, Espeon is going to go for yet another Curse here. Obviously, they're thinking, oh, well, I could probably leave another special attacking move and then I'll attack the Omanyte, right? Now, I do have the Focus Sash as the item as well, so whatever move it throws at me, I'm going to be able to leave. Unless it flinches me, or it's a move that hits twice, right? So Espeon is going to live the Surf as well. Like, its special bulk is pretty impressive right there, and it can hit me with one more move before it's going to obviously faint here, right? So I thought, okay, I can go for Ancient Power here. I could go for more, Shell Smashes, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I just want to get rid of this thing. And then the Espeon goes for a Morning Scum. So I'm like, okay, it must only have one move, and it's got to be a Psychic type move, right? Unless it's got something like, I don't know, Last Resort, right? So go for another attacking move there on the Espeon. I possibly could have got a lot of, another couple of Shell Smashes up here, but I didn't think the Espeon would take so long to actually attack me, right? I thought it would attack me like a long time before this. So here comes the Psychic type move. It's going to be Psychic Fangs, and I'm going to live on 1 health. Emergency survival, and now I can go for any move and take it out. Now the item, the ability. The ability on this one is Weak Armor, so that's obviously going to boost my speed even further, and Omanyte is going to be very, very fast right there. So Espeon is going to finally go down to the Ancient Power. So bye-bye Espeon. But a pretty cool set there, bulky Espeon. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is the Flareon. I was like, okay, Flareon's probably going to have, like, maybe, like, Quick Attack, but the Trick Room is still up here, so that's, you know, all those Speed Rides and Shell Smash, that's kind of going to work against me, right? So here comes a Scorching Sands and bye-bye Omanyte. So, I mean, best case scenario there, I could have taken Espeon out if I went for another Shell Smash, right? And then I would have been able to take out the Flareon, right? But Flareon would have put me at least down to my Sash. So I think inevitably Omanyte wouldn't have been able to, you know, take out the rest of the Pokemon here. So this Orbital, right? This is a Iron Defense Body Press set. It's got great defense, so I thought I'd, you know, give this one another run. We also got Recover, and we've got Trick, and we got the ability as Frisk, so I can see the opponent's items, and I've got the item as Ring Target. So if I came across any Ghost types, I could trick them the Ring Target, and then I'd be able to use Fighting type moves against the Ghost types, which would be really, really fun. Now, the EVs I gave this one, this is a super incredibly bulky set all around. We got Max Health, and I gave it Max Special Defense with, I think I gave it Sassy Nature, or I gave it a boosting special defense nature anyway, right there. So we're going to go for a couple of Iron Defense here. Now, the only problem about this matchup was, you know, Flareon obviously had, you know, special fire type moves, right? So it was doing a fair amount of damage to me, even with my really, really bulky special defense stat, right? So my special attack is going to get dropped. That doesn't really even matter at all. And my item is going to kick in here, which is the Leftover. So it was a good thing that I tricked off my item, because when I looked at their team, there was no Ghost type, right? So I thought in the team preview, right, I need to get rid of my Ring Target because it's useless, and I might be able to get myself another handy item. And I mean, Leftovers on this set's really good, right? So now we're going to go for the Body Press, and this does a lot of damage, but it is not enough to take out the Flareon. And Flareon is going to be going for a Mystical Fire. I'd say this Flareon set was like max health, max special attack, something like that, right? So bye-bye Orbital. I've got one more Pokemon left here, and it is Octillery. Now, I believe Octillery is quite an underrated Pokemon. It can work very well on the physical side and the special side, right? And I don't know, I just really like it. It's a very, very interesting Pokemon, and it gets a wide variety of moves too. This one's going to be a Focus Energy critting set with Sniper, right? Now, the moves on this one, as you can see, are Liquidation, Bounce, and Seabob. I like the fact that it gets a Grass-type move when it's a Water-type Pokemon too, right? Now, this one was Max Attack and Max Speed. But even with Max Speed, right, it's not super, super fast, so you really need to have like a move like Bounce for Dynamax, right? After one bounce, it's reasonably fast right there, right? And with the Sniper ability, if you do get a crit, it powers up the damage during the crit, right? It doesn't increase the chance, it powers it up. So firstly, I'm going to go for the Focus Energy there, outspeeding the Flareon like I kind of knew I would there, judging on what the set was before and how bulky it was. And Flareon is going to have Attract as well, man. I can't escape these evolutions infatuating me, right? So I could go for Dynamax here and go for Max Geyser. The only bad thing, right, is if I do actually go for Dynamax and I get infatuated. But I wanted to actually put the Rain up, and I wanted to put it up early, right? Because I felt like I might need it against the last Pokemon. So risking it all, going for the Dynamax Octillery right there. It's interesting when you compare Graplock and Octillery's Dynamax. I think the Graplock tries to catch itself where Octillery doesn't. Interesting. So we're going to go for the Max guys there, and I get immobilized. That sucks so much. Now the Flareon has got Fire Spin as well, so it's a infatuating trapping set, and it's also got Scorching Sands as well. I think that was the other move. No, it's Mystical Fire, so we're going to drop this special attack and, just trap you in with Attract, which sounds like a very, very annoying set. Now we're going to go for a Max Geyser again, and this time I get past the infatuation of the beautiful shiny Flareon, and it is most definitely going to be going down there. So there's one more Pokemon left. Now, the good thing about this, I've got one more turn of Rain, so this is going to help a lot. Now, let's say my opponent does Max Guard here. My attack is still going to do a lot of damage if it does crit, right? Because it's Octillery. Now, the next Pokemon and last Pokemon is the Sylveon, the shiny Sylveon. And I was like, okay, well, the defense stat on Sylveon isn't as good as its special defense, right? But I've got no idea what this set's going to be. And of course, they're going to Dynamax their Pokemon too. Now, I thought this would do a big chunk of damage to Sylveon, like coming from a physical Octillery too. It all depends on what the set was. Like, it might be a max health, max defense Sylveon. I've got no idea what it's going to be, or it might be like a sweeping one. Absolutely no idea, but I thought it would do a good chunk of damage regardless. So outspeeding, of course, going for the Max Geyser against the Sylveon here. This is my last turn of Dynamax, and it absolutely annihilates in a one-shot with a big crit there. Man, that was a lot of damage from Octillo. Like, it hits really hard when that sniper kicks in. Thank you for the battle, Dilly King. That was a cool evolution team there. Oh, it was almost, we're getting very close to the 20-minute mark there too. So let's get on to the second battle. But yeah, don't underestimate Octillo. It's quite a good Pokemon, and sometimes you don't know what it's gonna do too. Like, it can be special or physical, right? Now, next Pokemon. Actually, I'm gonna have a real quick drink here. That's better. Had to have some nice lemon and lime drink. So the second battle, this one was against the Lemon, and we got a Toxtricity lead. And instead of attacking me just with a powerful move, it goes for Nuzz. I'm like, oh man. I went for Flower there with a Choice Band. So judging on the damage that it did with the Flower right then, I was like, if I can land this on a low amount of health that I did there with a Hex, this will do a lot. It may even take it out. And unfortunately, I got paralyzed on the second move there. I go as far as to say as that Flail probably would have taken out Toxtricity there if I was able to land it. So that was very unlucky and very, very salty too. So the next Pokemon is the Oranguru. We got an Acid Spray Toxtricity now, dropping my special defense. Now it's like, okay, well, Extra Sentry will easily be able to take this out. It'd be nice if I got a Quick Claw, but regardless, it's going to, wield the same result there. I guess the only difference is Oranguru has a -2 in its special defense, right? Now, the next Pokemon to come into this matchup is a Serena. So I was like, okay, what can I do against this, right? Now, here comes a special Serena with Grass Knot, almost bodies me and takes me out there. I am able to get one Hyper Beam off here before I go down. Now, Hyper Beam hits really, really hard, but it's not enough to take out in one shot there, and I'm going to get finished off the Grass Knot. But Oranguru, once again, doing some massive damage there, and, definitely appreciated, because I can bring in one of my other Pokemon and easily take it out. Next Pokemon is the Obsidian. Once again, I can freely go for the Hype Voice here, and that's going to take the Serena out and give me that easy +1 in special attack right there, so that's good. Now, I've got Hype Voice to spam, which is great, and I've also like Snarl and stuff as well to drop the opponent's special attack. That's what's up. Now, next Pokemon is Blissey, and this is where things started to get very nasty. Now, Blissey outspeeds me, like, what? It's a Choice Scarf Blissey, right? I went for Blizzard because I was trying to freeze accent Blissey, and it didn't work. But then it started to think, right, as the Blissey started spamming Ice Beam, I think that this is a Serene Grace Blissey with Ice Beam, right? I got just a little feeling about this set, so I thought if I get a Freeze Axe of Blizzard, I might be able to freeze the Blissey, and that'd be beautiful, right? So I finally get one Blizzard off after missing twice, and it does 3 damage, and Blissey does not get paralyzed. It's not paralyzed, frozen. So I got to swap out, and I got to try Obsidian against maybe another Pokemon, right? So now we're going to go into Orbeetle, and obviously I see that it's got the Choice Scarf for the Frisk there, and I was praying that I didn't get Freeze Hacks by this thing. With Serene Grace, it gives it a very good chance, right? I mean, they're either getting fairly unlucky here, or it's not Serene Grace. I wasn't really sure. Regardless, I went for the Body Press, and Blissey is going to go down there. I'd say they would have had, like, max speed and max special attack with the Choice Scarf there, right? And no bulk whatsoever. Next Pokemon is the Ditto. So Ditto is going to be copying my Orbeetle set. So they'll be able to see this set is all based around the Iron Defense and, of course, the Body Press, right? And they're going to see I've got Ring Target, too. Once again, I was like, okay, Ring Target isn't a very good item in this battle. Then they went Trick. I'm like, okay, I get to see what item they got. And I got given a Spice Mix, and I gave them my Ring Target. So I'm like, you know what? They can have that Spice Mix back. I don't want that all. Basically, 2 useless items here, right? And we just tricked we tricked the Ring Target and the Spice Mix a couple of times. And then I start, okay, let's get these Iron Defense up, and let's see how much damage I can do. The only bad thing about that is it can mirror all my moves and use the same strategy against me. Now, Orbeetle will have a little bit more health there, obviously, than a Ditto, but I have sustained some damage there, too. So I thought, okay, we're not really doing a lot of damage to each other. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe swapping my Obstagoon in here, right? And then I can just go for a Hyper Voice or some sort of damaging move against it. I mean, it's not probably going to take it out, but it will do a decent chunk, and then maybe I can bring another Pokemon in and take it out. Unfortunately, the Orbeetle continued to go for the Body Press there, and Obstagoon's going to go down. It's unfortunate. I believe it was well worth the risk because they could have gone for another move or even swapped, right? So it is what it is. I wasn't going to take the Orbeetle out anyway, right? Next Pokemon is the Omnite. I thought, okay, well, this isn't a bad opportunity to try and set up the Shell Smash, right? Now, I get outsped by the Orbeetle. It's going to be super effective too, and it's going to activate my Weak Armor. So, like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to be able to outspeed all the rest of these Pokemon, right? The only thing is, I don't really, like, if I get the Shell Smash up and everything like that, which I definitely will, I don't think there's still any point going for the Dynamax in case my opponent has some sort of item to, take me out, or some weather happens, or a priority move, something like that. So I will set up well, but I didn't want to go for Dynamax here, right? So I'm going to go for the Ancient Power. It is super effective. I was like, I wonder if this will actually take it out, and it didn't. It's so bulky, and their Orbeetle is going to go for a recover here. So I'm like, okay, I should be able to take it out with the next Ancient Power, right? So that's all good. I may even be able to get a boost here. So if they did go for the Body Press there, that would have ended my, Omanyte there. I don't know what I would have done after that. I might have had to go into Octillery and start setting up the Focus Energy, which I could get this thing, obviously the crit right there. Anyway, we got the Morpeko coming in. I went for the Sylveon. This will be an easy KO. And it lived. I was like, what the heck? Like, Morpeko, like, that's a bulky Morpeko. I think they're running max health on that set, right? I reckon they're running max health and max attack, maybe. That was what my first impression was. So the Oranguru is going to boost their speed too, and Omanyte is going to go down. So it sort of makes sense. You could run like max health, max attack. I could be wrong here, but it kind of makes sense, right? That you could do that because you can make it signature move, boost your speed. So now to back in the hungry form here, I was like, okay, let's test out and see how hard this thing actually hits. If it's got a lot invested in bulk, I should be able to lift the Oranguru here badly and take it out with the Body Press. And I was like, okay, obviously it's got something in attack, and I get credit. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't give me a very good reading on what it was. And my Orbeetle's going to go down. So I would have been able to finish off the Body Press, right? So I've only got one more Pokemon here, and something needs to happen here, right? And I've got my Octillery. So it's like, okay, they're back in their normal, non-hungry mode. Oranguru is going to hit me for a lot of damage here, right? I'm thinking, if I Dynamax, I can't go for Focus Energy because I'm going to get destroyed. And if I Dynamax the next turn, I would have sustained way too much damage from Oranguru, right? And it's unknown whether they've got a max attack or not. So I've got to go for the Dynamax, and then what I'll do is I'll go for Max Guard. Their form will change, and then I'll go for the Max Geyser, right? At least then I won't sustain a really heavy hit or super effective hit, right? So go for the Max Guard. They're dodging the electric type Oranguru, and instead it was Bullets, and I'm like, oh man, it's got another move to hit me with, outside the, the dark type Oranguru that'll happen next turn. So it's got leftovers as the item, as you can see. I know that I can take it out in one shot easy. It's only got a bit of health there. So obviously it's going to outspeed me. And Bullet Seed is actually hitting me like fairly hard right here. So there's 2 hits on the Octillery. And there's 3. I'm like, oh man, this is probably going to hit me like 5 times. And I get hit 3 times. So I'm like, okay, yeah. It could be worse, right? So go for the Max Geyser. And that is going to take out the Morpeko. So the last Pokemon is, it's not a super bulky Pokemon. Well, once again, I'm not sure. Like, I thought I'd be able to take the Morpeko out easy there, and I didn't, right? So, bye-bye Morpeko. Now, what I need to do, right, is I really need to hit this next Pokemon with the crit. Whether I can get the crit or not with the Scope Lens as my item is another thing, right? With Focus Energy and the Scope Lens, it's 100% crit chance, right? However, it's not 100% crit chance here. I've only got 1 stage of crit out of the 3. So, we got a Dynamax Absol. I was like, okay, if I crit this, I believe if I crit this and I get the, obviously I got the sniper boost from that, that should be more than enough to take out the Absol, right? If I don't crit it, I'm not sure what's going to happen right here. So go for the Max Geyser. I do outspeed it, which is very, very good. And hopefully I can get the crit there, and I don't. Like, look how much less damage that it did without the crit. Anyway, so speaking of crit wits, we got the Absol go for a Max Darkness here, and I get critted instead. I'm like, okay, I think this is probably... I'd say it's probably a super luck Absol, right? And that's going to drop my special defense. Not that it really matters. Now I'm thinking, okay, if I get a crit with Liquidation, will it be enough to take it out? Oh, it's going to be close. So what I thought, let's go for Bounce instead. And let's bounce out of the arena, Hacker Exposed. And I'm going to try and get a Paralyzed, right? And then I'll go for Liquidation after. So they went for the Max Strike there. I went for the Bounce in hopes I get a Paralyzed against the Absol. And unfortunately, it did not happen. I don't know whether Liquidation would have taken out Absol with a crit there. Would have been very, very close. But a close battle there in the end. Man, I actually got fairly bad luck during that battle in parts. Thank you for the battle, Lemon. That was a fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out.